Hey guys, Bubba here with the Bubba News, all in one word, all in one news. How are you guys doing tonight? Did you guys have a good Mother's Day? Today is Monday, May 12th. Hard to believe, but goodness, this weekend went by really fast as well. And with everything going on with Trump in the Middle East, he's got a big week ahead. So we're going to talk about Trump being over there in the Middle East, all these different summits and forums that are coming up in Saudi Arabia, all this stuff going on with Israel and how Israel's going to go into Gaza hard very soon. We're still going to talk about Iran and whatnot. And we'll finish it off with Gaza. But yeah, this is a big week ahead. And, there's a lot of news. This is basically the news that we woke up to yesterday, how that Qatar is donating to Trump and the United States of America $400 million 747-800 series airplane as a gift. They're going to gift the President of the United States a new Air Force One. And since Qatar supports Hamas, that's kind of why this was a goofy thing, Hamas Force One. But, everyone is keeping an eye still on everything there with Iran, because they had the big fourth round talks there on Saturday in Oman. And it lasted about 3 hours, and they're now going to go to a fifth round. We'll have to keep an eye on that because it seems like Iran is delaying. The U.S. hasn't put their foot down. They're just playing this game. The 2 months deadline is coming up. Who knows if Trump's going to extend that? We've had so much crazy news lately. Even Saturday, I remember waking up here, seeing this with Zelensky there and talking about the peace coming with Russia, a ceasefire. And then you had the insanity of the Iran-Pakistan deal pretty much being over with a full and immediate ceasefire going on. So we've got Ukraine-Russia ceasefire coming up. You've got India-Pakistan ceasefire taking over. Then you've got Huckabee saying Iran's not going to have a nuclear weapon, period. And, the three main Fordo, Natanz, and Arak, the nuclear sites there in Elam area of Iran, they've got to go bye-bye. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But, as Israel's going to start going into Gaza more. And we're going to get back to Trump here in a second, but we've got to keep an eye on Egypt because, especially the Arab countries that surround Israel, because as Israel takes more and more control of Gaza, more of Israel's Arab enemies are going to want to come help the plight of their Palestinian brothers in Gaza. So as Israel takes over more and more of Gaza, more and more of the Arabs that are surrounding Israel are going to want to help their Hamas brotherhood. So Israeli media over the weekend was reporting that Egypt is now making it clear to Israel, saying that if you occupy Gaza, we can and will send large Egyptian military forces to the Sinai in violation of the peace agreement. Because Israel's new plan to occupy the Gaza Strip and establish a permanent presence there in Gaza, that's causing more and more outrage in Egypt. And that's going to spread, especially with the lack of humanitarian food and aid getting in right now. We're going to... I forgot. Yesterday, you guys, mothers, I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day. It's a great verse, Proverbs 31, verse 28. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Children are such an amazing gift from the Lord, and our mothers are so important to all of us. And it's just amazing to see how life changes, how mothers go through Mother's Day, and Father's Day is coming up, all these wild things. But, what's really coming up, and that's Jesus Christ, because like Jesus said, I love this verse, Revelation 3:8, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. And Jesus stands at the door and knocks, and he's waiting to come in. Have you let him in? Have you let Jesus into your life today? You need to, because everything going on in the Middle East is getting ready to kick off, and it's going to get crazy town. But the foreign ministers of Syria, Turkey, and Jordan, they met today in Ankara, Turkey, and they called on Israel to cease the attacks on Syria and to withdraw the Israeli troops from Syria. So Israel's carried out, hundreds of strikes on Syria since Bashar al-Assad was ousted in December. Because Israel often, they target military sites, but they also kill other people. But, Turkey's foreign minister Fidan today told a press conference with his Jordanian and Syrian counterparts that Israel's expansionism into Syria poses a significant threat to the security, stability, and future of Syria. This must come to an end, and we are on the same page about this. Syria needs to be supported to prevent terrorist organizations from settling in this region, he added, noting that Syria shares a 560-mile border with Turkey. So they're going to start calling on, and he called today on the international community to put Israel under increased pressure to halt these bombings. And even Jordan's top diplomat said that the attacks on Syrian soil will not bring security to Israel and will bring nothing to Syria except ruin and destruction. I mean, he got one thing right, the ruin and destruction that will continue in Syria that we read about in Jeremiah 49, 23 to 27, and Isaiah 17, 1 to 14, but next, there's going to be Jordan. Jordan's going to be hit in the future. Jeremiah 49, verse 2. But the clock is definitely ticking for Hamas because Israel's ultimatum issued to Hamas regarding its agreement to the Gaza hostage deal framework remains valid until the end of President Trump's visit to the Middle East. Even today, Netanyahu, U.S. envoy Witkoff, and Mike Huckabee had a phone call between Netanyahu and President Trump. And they all came to an agreement that the deadline for Hamas to accept the Witkoff framework, which includes the release of 10 hostages in exchange for several weeks of a ceasefire, remains valid until the end of Trump's visit to the Middle East region. And that comes on Friday. So Hamas has until Friday to come to an agreement with Israel, or else Israel's going to go full bore into Gaza with Gideon's chariots, their operation. The Trump administration's committed to this Witkoff framework, and they're pursuing it with full force. The Americans see eye to eye with us, they say. They understand that Hamas must be destroyed. So Netanyahu thanks Trump for his assistance in securing the release of the IDF soldier, Edon Alexander, today. And Trump reaffirmed his commitment to Israel and his desire to continue close cooperation with Netanyahu. So Israel hopes that with this release of the Edon Alexander today, combined with the herd of the elephants that are going to head towards Gaza, this is referring to Operation Gideon's Chariots, and the fact that Trump's in the Middle East region, they're hoping that this will lead to additional deals Israel is hoping for. So Israel said that Hamas will not stall us and negotiations will proceed under fire. And if Hamas does not agree to the Witkoff framework, then Gideon's Chariots operation will not be delayed and will go full bore into Gaza. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But as Trump gets going here in Saudi Arabia, and he lands there tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, France, they've still got their two-state solution on their mind. And they urged Trump to deliver a political message on a two-state solution for Palestine and Israel during his Middle East visit. So the French Foreign Affairs Minister, Jean-Noel Barrot, suggested the trip, which begins on Tuesday, May 13th, should be about way more than just economic ties. He said, "We hope and urge both the United States and our partners in the Gulf to use this opportunity to deliver political messages." He was pointing at Trump's support for the Abraham Accords, which established direct diplomatic ties with Israel and a number of Arab states, including the UAE. And he said that he hoped that Trump would back an upcoming Saudi-French conference in New York City on the two-state solution in June 2nd through the 4th. He said, "I'm not saying that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict could be resolved in the coming days thanks to President Trump's visit to the Middle East, but I think that what we want and what we are pushing for are political statements to be made that allow us to move in the same direction." The same direction he's talking about is peace in the Middle East, a 7-year peace plan. And they want Trump to be 100% on board with Saudi and French, the meeting that's coming up. Because even the Saudis are going to try to do this. Because who knows what kind of deals and treaties that Trump will encounter over the next few days during his overseas trip to the Middle East. Because during Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh is going to try to get Trump on board with a regional package deal. This includes three things. One, forming a demilitarized Palestinian state. Two, ending the war in Gaza while dismantling Hamas. And three, the normalization of ties between Israel and Arab countries, according to Khan News there in Israel. And Khan News stated an unnamed official in the Saudi royal family said that there is much optimism in Riyadh that Trump will be persuaded to support this deal. A regional package deal. The Saudi official is cited as saying some details can yet be changed, but a Palestinian state and stopping the war, those two things, having a state of Palestine recognized, stopping the war in Gaza on Hamas, that these two are non-negotiable components to the coming peace plan truce. Israel must not miss this opportunity, the Saudi official said. It sounds like everyone is getting ready for the June 2nd through the 4th UN Peace Conference regarding Israel and the new state of Palestine. So Trump has a big week ahead with a lot of things going on. And they even have tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, in Riyadh, they have this huge Saudi-U.S. investment forum going on. And artificial intelligence is going to be a major topic at this U.S.-Saudi investment forum. You've got Elon Musk of Tesla. You've got Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, Facebook, Instagram. You've got Sam Altman of OpenAI. These are some of those who have been invited to attend a Saudi-U.S. investment forum in Riyadh on Tuesday on the sideline of President Trump's visit to the Middle East. This visit is expected to be a lavish affair accompanied by a blockbuster economic deals and announcements. Those invited also include the CEOs of BlackRock, Citigroup, IBM, Boeing, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, United Airlines, Palantir, Qualcomm, Alphabet, Google, among others. In January, Trump asked Saudi Arabia to spend upwards towards $1 trillion in the U.S. economy over the next 4 years, including military purchases. And Reuters reported last month that the U.S. was poised to offer Saudi Arabia an arms package, military stuff, well worth over $100 billion. So there's going to be a lot of announcements coming in the next few days. And this was perfectly timed. This was by no accident either. But from oil to algorithms, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman launches a new AI company. As Trump heads to Riyadh, it's called Humane. Humane is human with AI in the middle. Saudi Arabia is building more than skyscrapers. It now wants to build robots, data centers, and AI brains. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman just launched Humane, a brand new tech company that will create artificial intelligence systems and infrastructure, including cloud services and supercomputers. It's all part of Vision 2030, a national plan to help Saudi Arabia move beyond oil and become a global hub for AI, competing with tech giants in the U.S. and China. The timing is not random, but planned with Trump's Middle East visit. Humane will serve as a regional and global AI hub. Check that out. A global AI hub for human verification in very strategic sectors, including energy, healthcare, manufacturing, and financial services. A global AI hub for human verification on the blockchain regarding healthcare. I wonder if Humane will outpace Elon Musk's Stargate project for global dominance. Because this is huge, that Humane thing coming up. So we got to keep an eye on that. And then on Wednesday, they're having a huge a Gulf summit there in Saudi Arabia. On Wednesday, it's going to be a Gulf summit. And Saudi Arabia with the United States, Trump will be there. Saudi Arabia, but they've invited the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, So all these Gulf Coast cooperation GCC nations are going to be there. And they kind of did a meeting like this in 2017 when Trump visited Saudi Arabia. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going on. But crazy things with all this going on, Netanyahu, he's coming out with stuff himself. While Trump's over there in the Middle East, not stopping in Israel on Israel's birthday, on the 77th birthday of them, on Wednesday the 14th. But Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that within days, things are going to happen in Gaza. Things will happen that you have not known until now. So, Netanyahu is hinting at some unexpected moves coming up in Gaza. And reading between the lines, it's likely one of two things. One, either a mass displacement pushing 2 million people south towards Egypt as Israel goes in to take over Gaza. Or two, a move to claim that most of Gaza is now under Israeli control. I think both of those are coming. But here's 3 interesting quotes from Prime Minister Netanyahu today. 1, we will conquer Gaza, and our security control there will be permanent. Wow, we will control Gaza, and our control there will be permanent. Israel's going to take over Gaza. This is prophesied, and we're going to get to these verses in a minute. 2, Netanyahu said, number 2, in a matter of days, things are going to happen in Gaza. Things will happen that you've never seen before. So it sounds like Netanyahu's taking a play from Trump's playbook, like, I've got a big announcement coming in a couple days. Number 3, Netanyahu said, things have changed. A decision has been made to go all the way. Israel's not going to stop. They know that Hamas is not going to come to this hostage agreement, and they're prepared to go in all the way. Oh, man, they've called up 5 new battalions and brigades. Oh, man, yeah. Netanyahu wants to block any U.S. recognition of a Palestinian state as well when Trump's over there, because they don't want Trump to make a mention of doing a Palestinian state. So this is Netanyahu's move to get ahead of any potential recognition by the U.S. and to make it pointless, basically stealing Trump's thunder. If Trump were to say something like recognizing a new state of Palestine or a 2-state solution over there. So either way, this is Israel's kind of kill shot right now at a Palestinian state. But this is a big week ahead. So I'm going to finish it off with this. You know, Israel taking over Gaza, and I said, yep. I threw this on the Telegram. Jeremiah 12, verse 14. Thus says the Lord concerning all my wicked neighbors who strike at the inheritance with which I have endowed my people Israel. Behold, I am about to uproot them from their land and will uproot the house of Judah from among them. Verse 17. But if they will not listen, then I will uproot that nation, uproot it and destroy it, declares the Lord. Amos 1, 7 and 8. So I will send fire upon the wall of Gaza, and it will consume her citadels, and the remnant of the Philistines will perish, says the Lord God. That's Amos 1, 7 to 8. I'm going to go over here to some of these other pictures, because we were talking the other night about how close Shephelah is right there to Gaza, where the Philistines are in the old Bible maps. On account of the day that is coming to destroy all the Philistines, to cut off from Tyre and Sidon every ally that is left. For the Lord is going to destroy the Philistines, the remnant of the coastland of Caphtor. That's Jeremiah 47, verse 4. Woe to the inhabitants of the Mediterranean sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan land of the Philistines. And I will destroy you so that there will be no inhabitant. Zephaniah 2, verse 5. For the house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. But the house of Esau will be stubble. This is Obadiah 1, 18 and 19. Then the house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. But the house of Esau will be a stubble. That's the Palestinians. and they will set them on fire and consume them, so that there will be no survivor of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken, for then those of the Negev will possess the mountains of Esau. And those of the Shephelah, the Philistine plain, and possess the territory of Ephraim and the territory of Samaria, and Benjamin will possess Gilead. You know what? Not only are they going to take over remember we talked about this the other day, from Samaria up there in the top, down to Jericho, Bethel, Jerusalem, south to the Hebron, all this towards the Negev, where all of the West Bank is. Israel's going to take that, but they're also going to take this Shephelah area. Those of the Shephelah plain, they're going to go into Philistine area. They're going to take over Gaza. This is crazy, because this is going to come up. This is what I'm talking about. This is getting ready to get crazy town. Professor right there, Obadiah 1:19. Then those of the Negev will possess the mountains of Esau. They're getting ready to move in. They're getting ready to move in. They're getting ready to move into Hamas. I mean, Israel's going to annex southern Jordan before it's all said and done. They haven't done that yet. Southern Jordan's Edom, EDOM, where they have Petra. The West Bank, the two stars there, just north of the Dead Sea. And then up there towards the Golan Heights, which they already have, and they're moving into more of Syria. They're also going to take parts of southern Lebanon, up towards Zarephath, there on the coast, towards Tyre and Sidon. I mean, this is crazy town. This is all coming to pass. We've got to keep an eye on this, because it's not going to be good for the Palestinian progress and for those of Gaza. This is going to be crazy, guys. We've got some big prophecies coming up. See, is there anything else left on there? No, that's it on the, I don't even know why I have this up for the UAE, but, the UAE has all these places all over, military bases and stuff, whatnot, with everything going on with Trump. But, with everything going on with the Palestinian prognosis and everything coming up with Hamas and how Israel's going to annex these things, I mean, it's all prophetic, but the whole thing, too, with Trump, with his big week ahead, we've got some big things coming up and some big deals and some big announcements are going to be made. The big Gulf summit there on Wednesday. Middle East tensions, talking about a two-state solution, talking about peace in the Middle East. The U.S. investment forum tomorrow there in Saudi Arabia. So many things are coming up, guys. So many things, but we'll get this uploaded. I want to get this uploaded earlier tonight, and so you guys can enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for praying. We're taking Mrs. Bubba tomorrow to therapy again for her arm, her shoulder, so we'll see what's going on there. So thank you so much for your prayers. But, it's going to be a big week ahead for Trump and everyone over there. Pray for them. Pray for their safety, because there should be some big shenanigans this week with Trump overseas. There could be some more crazy town wars. I mean, we saw right before hitting the record button, the breakout there in Libya tonight. Seeing how the Houthis shot down another MQ-9 Reaper drone over Yemen tonight. All kinds of crazy stuff could be happening, but we've got a big week ahead, but, we've got to, we're looking for Jesus' return sooner and sooner and getting closer and closer and closer. Guys, it's coming up so very soon. So very soon. Lift up your head. Your redemption's drawing nigh, but we've got some big prophecies we're watching for in the meantime. Jesus is coming so very soon. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Maranatha. Jesus Christ.